I don't know what this stuff is used for. It smells like Bondo, kinda. It's weird because it's white and it's got a white hardener. What I did is, you can use it on wood, metal, whatever. What I used it for is, oh, where is it? Oh, right here. I don't know what was there at the time, but when this goes on the sliding door, these right here where the window things would pop out. But anyway, it had, I don't know what they had, or maybe I didn't take it. They had a plastic went like this, and it indented a lot. See right there? That right there? It indented in, and I'm not Mr. Reupholster man, so I knew that once I try to go here, then come back out would be fine, but to try to do it in the corner, then it's going to be hard enough to get this to, let me see some light. It's going to be hard enough for me to heat it and stretch it, because you can only stretch that gator stuff so much until it gets deformed. And this is made, this trim is made for a window, and it's really, really snug. So what I mean is when you put the trim on, it goes right here. So I had two choices: either grind this back so I could slip a piece of wood underneath it, or fill it in. So what I did is I filled it in so it would be level. Yeah, because what I'm going to do is a diamond tuck, they call it, panel. Some purple crushed velvet. And the upholstery man said use this. I don't think this is thick enough as what I want, but I'll try it. If not, then I'll have to go get some foam. And then I put these on. I did it yesterday. It's got to be 64 degrees temperature, the window does, in order for the 3M to adhere. And then I noticed, even though these windows look flat, when I stick it down, it would kind of lift up. So what I did is I took a hammer and just tapped it really light to bend this piece of aluminum. And then you got to let it set for a day to adhere. And then you have to put silicone on it. The only reason you're not putting silicone on it in order to get it stick, only thing you're putting the direction side, the reason you put 100% silicone right here is so the water and the sun can't get behind it, because if water gets behind it, it wants to break the 3M tape, or if sun gets to it, the heat, it wants to get brittle. So that'll make it last. I actually did all these yesterday, and I lifted up the corner so I could make this video, and then realized that I didn't even do this one. I don't know how I missed that, but I did. This panel has to be cut down, like I said, and I had to regrind it. So I had to dig out the seam seal, and I had to regrind it. Then I had to re-weld it. And what I learned is, and I'm not very good at, tack and walk away. Because I tend to warp stuff really easy, because I'm trying to get, I use a lot of heat to penetrate. So what I've learned is, when I'll tack it, I won't wear a glove on my hand, and I'll feel this metal. And if this metal is warmer than my hand, it's not time to go back and tack. That's how I do it, because I've warped my share of metal. And this is, this panel, how do I say it? This is one panel, and this is another panel, outer panel. And I must have did something right, because I didn't even burn the paint. So I did learn something there. And because Big E's car's coming, I need to put that window in. It won't be for like 2 weeks, but I went in and I tack welded all this in. And I still need to grind it down and put some fiberglass on it, put some primer on it, so she don't rust on me. I guess that SEM stuff is not the right stuff to bond that hood scoop down. My go-to guy says that that's not the stuff. And what kind of sucks is I have this. I don't know. I bought this for $1 at a yard sale because they didn't know what it was. They thought it was a double caulk gun, like for windows. I didn't tell them any different. I knew what it was. They're like about $80 gun. Well, these things were on it. Apparently this is an old school style one because you could tell that this has got a big circular hole and this has got a small circular hole. So before I went to my go-to guy, I took some washers and I welded the washers in so they would fit in there, so I could use that bar and that bar. I know it's not centered, but I was hoping that because this was metal, that hopefully they would push it out at the same speed or whatever. But this is not the stuff to use. Okay, so that's a $55 learning curve, and that's one reason. Well, that's the main reason why I started going on YouTube in the first place, is not to make videos. It was to get more information, stuff that I don't know about, because I'm not in a body shop, never worked in a real body shop to know what product to use, when, where, and how. So I go to my go-to guy. You guys should know who my go-to guys. I got 2 of them. They do it for a living, and knowledge is priceless. That's what it is. So that's not going to work. Well, and then I looked at something else. There's a video up where you take baking soda and super glue. It's supposed to hold 43 pounds. Okay, you guys just keep telling yourself the fairy tale, because it didn't work for me, and I don't want stuff to fail. Getting ready to bring my kerosene heater home. I got like 5 of them, so I can put it in the sled shed, so I can put some heat on it, so I can work on that. This is just used to glue down. And the worst thing is like I've always said, when you change something or modify something, the rule of thumb, you're going to have to keep on. It's a rolling downhill effect. You got to keep modifying. This is what I mean. It was a good idea, a good concept per se, yada yada. This was fine and dandy. I did that first, and it worked out good. Okay, just so I could snug it down. Then I put this metal mesh on it, and then I put fiberglass, and I put some black plastic panel so you couldn't see through it, so water wouldn't get in here. Well, apparently I didn't have the tape on good enough, and it's at a point where I can't do nothing about it now. It's day late and a dollar short, like my dad would say. That's fiberglass resin. And if I dig it out, then I'm going to dig the black out, so that is what it is. What sucks is, and I didn't realize it, is that before I had this in, and I mocked it up, and I just snugged everything down, this corner was snug, and then I plan on putting a C-clamp here just to snug this corner. Well, what I didn't realize is when that one was fine, that was fine, that was fine, and when I took a C-clamp and snugged that down, I didn't realize that this was giving. So now it's stiff, it ain't moving, so now what you got is because it was a way lot flusher. Way lot flusher. There was a little bit of, okay, you can't see nothing. There was a little bit of gap, but not a lot. But this is what happens now when I snug it down. Look at the back. So, yeah. So if I take a C-clamp and snug it down, it lifts this up. And it wasn't doing that before because it was giving from side to side, and I didn't realize it. So now I gotta, if I would have known that, and I like where it's at, but if I would have known that, I would have brought these up farther up the hood before she started curving, because it would have been, if I would have pulled this up farther, it would have given me more of a flat area to get it to flow down. Now, now I don't know what's that, 1/8 inch, something like that, so I can get my pinky underneath there a little bit. Now it's gonna take more to get it to flow, to make it look good. I haven't really figured it out. I never figured nothing out. Now it seems like I'm gonna have to, that lip right there, that I'm gonna have to flow it out with fiberglass like a ski jump. I didn't plan on doing that. But now I gotta put that on hold because I gotta order Evercoat FiberTech. So that's on the back burner. And yeah, that is what it is. So, oh, I got my window tint. It's a thing around here where you tint your windshield where it allows 65% of the light in, and your windshield is tinted 35%. So that allows 75% of the light to come in, just enough where it stops a lot of heat, but you really can't tell, which I got a thing anyway. It says that the doctor says I can have window tint because I get migraine headaches. And then I got my limo tint here, and I got my tint here, and then I got all my pinstripe. I got some different designs, so I can put scroll all down here. And then I picked this up the other day. And then here, because I don't like the square window, I got, how do I say it? Tribal / Aztec / pinstripe design that will basically cover the whole window, because I don't know, I just don't like the window. And I think that's all I got to say today. Yeah, tomorrow I'm going to raise the van up, and I bought this light, this LED, so I can hang it up there with magnets, so I can see a lot better, and I'll start doing some welding there. And like I said, I need to put the other window in. I need to take my wife's Grand Prix out of the carport back there, put it on the road, so I can pull this out and put that in there. So you can bring that, I don't know, 73 Impala, so I can rebuild the windshield frame. And yeah, that's all I got. Doesn't seem like I get much done most days, but kind of, yeah, it's slower because my ankle or whatever. It's going on. Tomorrow will be 2 weeks. It's getting better, but not. This is the worst sprain I've had in a long time. But anyway, piece of property, piece of oneself, peace on earth, rest in peace. Bigger piece of pie, piece of action, piece of pussy, piece of corn dog, piece of pizza. And when the big dogs get out uneaten, even the puppies get fucked over sometimes, like me. And you don't know what I mean, and I'm not going to explain. And sometimes shit will bite you right in the ass. It will. You got to watch who you fuck with sometimes. Some people are they're just a piece of work. Sometimes it takes a while before, it could take years before you figure out who they are. Like they always say, the ones that'll get you are the ones that are real close to you. That's the ones that'll get you. But it is what it is, what it's going to be tomorrow. And I think at the end, when they go in front of God, God's put the hammer down on them. Yeah, that's my opinion anyway. That's how I try not to get pissed off about it all the time. Peace.